Alex, we're back.
Adam,
How are
you're
you?
still here? Oh, lovely. How are you?
I am still here, by the way. I've never left. I haven't left this chair and this desk since the last time we recorded. Never
Okay.
have, never will.
Uh, okay. I believe you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Alex, there's so much going on. Since the last we recorded, a bunch of players hit some milestones. The wild card race is still kind of fun, and guess what? There have been more Pride jersey stuff, which just hasn't been very fun. Where do you want to begin? The Habs and the Leafs have also been playing some hockey games. So where do you want to go here to start?
Um, do you want to get the disappointing stuff? Let's get through that.
Yeah, let's make fun of Eric Stahl. So
Yeah, you go ahead.
okay, so Pride jerseys, still an ongoing. I don't even want to call it a debate, and an ongoing uh,
Debacle.
debacle. That's a good word, Alex. Has been going on. Excuse me. By the way, shout out to Brian Burke having a nice little quick thing on Saturday night last night. That was good. They cut 32 thoughts short to talk to him, which I thought was pretty cool. But anyway, all this comes in the wake of the Florida Panthers having their Pride Night. They did it. They had the jerseys and all that. It was all good until we found out day of the game that two people would not be wearing their Pride jerseys. The brothers of Thunder Bay, Mark and Eric Stahl. Now they did put out a statement. Now I'm gonna find it here, Alex. Because this was, I think, listen, if Reimer at least tried in his statement, it wasn't the perfect statement, but God help me, Alex, it wasn't as bad as this. Here we are. After many thoughts, prayers, and discussions, we have chosen not to wear a Pride jersey tonight. We carry no judgment on how people choose to live their lives and believe that all people should be welcome in all aspects of the game of hockey. Having said that, we feel that by us wearing a Pride jersey, it goes against our Christian beliefs. We hope you can respect this statement. We will not be speaking any further on this matter. Alex, this is the best part. I would like to continue to focus on the game and helping the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup. Eric and Mark Stahl. Instant reaction, Alex.
Um, I don't know. I just you know the the whole this entire thing screams like what I'm just curious why this has become an issue this year. It's not like in years past. Um, it's been an issue.
So after
I'm
the
so
game,
confused.
sorry. It's
Sorry, go ahead.
also we should point out that Matthew Kachuk. I almost called him the captain. He's not the captain there, but it feels like it, doesn't it? But Matthew Kachuk basically also came out and said, I mean, he was very supportive of the whole thing, not the stalls, but of the Pride Night. And really, really good for Matthew Kachuk. I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was really, really good. You know, on top of this, even though they said we're not talking about this anymore, they spoke to the media after the game. So obviously the Panthers were like, "Yeah, you're gonna go talk about this." It's kind of funny. Um, and Eric Stahl basically denied ever wearing a Pride jersey, and people were like, you wore one." He said, "No, I didn't. No, I did not. I didn't know. I've never worn a Pride jersey."
There's a picture of it.
And
How could you,
instantly,
how
he
could you
got
lie about
he
whatever?
got man. I don't know if he just kind of forgot about this, but this is brutal. Everyone, I'm sure, has seen the picture by now. It is him in full equipment, wearing a Pride jersey, going out to warm up when he was a Hab. Obviously, that was the 56 game COVID season. Again, he is full equipment in a Pride jersey going out to his warm up. It was auctioned off apparently $750. That's probably one of the lower selling jerseys when the Habs put their stuff up. I don't know why I had to mention that, but I thought it was kind of funny. Like that's there was proof he wore one. So the question I asked to ask here, Alex, and you've asked why has it become the situation that's happened? What has changed, Alex, in the league since Eric Stahl wore this Pride jersey those years ago and now? What has changed? Besides the fact that
I don't
NHLers
know.
are all of a sudden a lot more pious, which is very interesting to me.
I don't know.
I do.
Am I missing something
The
obvious?
Flyers opened the door. And the league held it open by not sort of condemning these players. That's what's happened here. And this whole thing about the Russian thing. Apparently, Bill Daley said we don't believe there's any sort of
I thought about that.
To Russia.
Yeah. So I thought about that because I brought it up last episode, and so I kept thinking about it after, and I'm like, again, it's a poor excuse because it's not like Russia became Mr. Bad Boy, Mr. Evil recently. Like what?
No.
Has anyone been around? Has honestly, legitimately anyone been around?
Shout out the Soviets.
Russia has been evil in the Western world for many, 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 many years. So this idea that this is all brand new because of what's going on, it is false. Like it's just not true. Clearly, Bill Daley said it himself.
Shout out Olympic athlete Sergei Bobrovsky, who wore his pride jersey, by the way. I just don't get why the lies. Like, again,
right? That's what makes
religious
it worse.
All of a sudden. Like, I don't get this. Like, I can believe if you have faith, but Alex, I don't need to seem insensitive here. There is one player in this league who I have heard been open about their religion over the past couple of years. Do you know who that is? I'll give you. I think he once said, I forget if he's Catholic or Christian, but he said, I am a person of God, I'll say, before I'm a hockey player. And you're a very big fan of this player, actually. And I don't know if his team has had a Pride night, but another hint, there is a Stahl brother on this team, a third one. Alex, come on. He's the captain of the team, this Stahl brother.
Oh,
and this player...
It's Carolina, but...
And it's Jacob Slavin.
Okay.
Is the only player I've heard be super open about his religion before this season. Again, I don't know if they've had their Pride night yet. I
don't know.
We'll see, but it will be interesting to see what happens whenever that comes around. Because if Jacob Slavin participates in it, then it's just sort of, okay, guys, I don't. It's just, and going back to Eric Stahl, brother, how did you not remember this?
It was double down. It was the double down and the lie that made this all worse.
Like, not even just like that, but the fact that you did it when you were in Montreal. If there was any market where there was going to be proof that you did, man, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't know what else to say at this point. I feel like I'm repeating myself, which I feel like I should do, but I don't know what else to add. Like, I don't have anything else to add. It's not like my thoughts have changed from experience to experience. It's all the same stuff. Like, just go listen to what I said last episode or 2 episodes before that or whatever the case may be. I don't know what else to say.
Well, this is how we leave off this segment then. We again give shout out to Brian Burke, who continues to be an ally and points out what this is about. We shout out the Thunder Bay Pride group that called out the Stahl brothers. I thought that was awesome. And we give a shout out to people like Matthew Tkachuk and Sergei Bobrovsky who are participating and understand the value in what wearing the jersey represents. I think that's how we leave it off.
What was the sorry, because maybe I missed it about the Blackhawks.
They didn't wear one, I'm pretty sure. And Mark Lazarus had a big piece saying like they've tried their best since the Kyle Beach stuff to sort of rebuild their image, and apparently this just sort of drops it down.
I didn't even see that. That must have slipped.
I think it all got kind of buried once Stahl and everything. Did you see the Kings Pride jerseys, by the way?
No.
Look them up. Those were the Kings. I think they were the Kings. I think I saw Philip Deneau wear them, and I was like, that's a sick. It was like a legit sick jersey. It was more creative than just sort of you put the rainbow on like the logo, which is kind of like, it's nice, but like let's get some creative jerseys out here. But I saw the Kings ones. I think they wore, and I was like, that's pretty sick. But yeah,
well, it does look cool. Yeah, I just found it. It looks sick.
Okay. Did you put this thing about Evgeny Kuznetsov?
Yeah, did you? I sent it to you on Twitter a couple hours ago.
Oh, I didn't. I have not checked this.
That's okay. So apparently, the Russian machine never breaks. So I have to remember the name of it. Had put out an article last night that Evgeny Kuznetsov had reportedly requested a trade 2 years ago.
Wow.
So this was reported on Russian outlet Match TV that Kuznetsov had requested a trade from the Washington Capitals through his agent. The request isn't new, with him first asking for the move 2 years earlier.
Would this also have been around the time when he was caught with the white powdery substance?
No. That happened way before that, I think.
Wow,
if I remember correctly.
Whoa.
It shakes things up.
The relationship between those two have always been kind of shaky the last couple of years. I wonder what it's like now. Like, if it's any better. Like, what's his contract?
He has 2 years, or after this season, he has 2 years left at 7.8.
So if things keep going the way he is, Ovi breaks the record and he leaves?
No, I wonder if they trade him this offseason.
Hey, listen, whoever you're trading for, help Ovi, because the transition here. Alexander Ovechkin officially has the most 40-goal years in NHL history. 40-goal seasons, I should say. Hit it the other day. I think he's up to 42 since then. Did you see the clip of Pittsburgh took a penalty last night? He instantly jumped over the bench, and then that power play scored one of his copy-paste Alexander Ovechkin 1T power play goals.
The play.
The play, yes, the play.
Man, this guy's got to stop giving me arguments for why we should rename the goal scoring trophy. I'm just saying, he keeps giving me arguments to prove why he's the greatest goal scorer of all time. He's just got to stop. He's really got to stop.
Fill some space for a second. I need to check some numbers.
I will. He's so the number keeps getting smaller and smaller, and then of him needing the amount of goals to break Gretzky's record, and I feel like
72.
He needs 72. Man, I feel like he can do that within a season and a half. He needs next season and a little bit more. Not even. He just needs to play a little bit of the 24-25 season. And that's it. And he's there. And that's so easily, to me, it feels so easily doable for him. I feel like he hasn't really slowed down as much as people expected him to slow down. So the fact that he's probably going to hit 40 next year again.
What I love is everyone was like, oh, so he has to average 30 goals for 6 or 7 years. And last year he almost hit 50. I think it was or did he hit 50?
I'll double check.
And then this year, who knows where he finishes? We're getting close. I don't know if he will, but he missed some time with his dad passing away and all that. Forget about averaging 30. He's been close to 50 the past 2 years.
Yeah, he hit 50 last year on the dot.
He's close to hitting it again this year. Again, if he doesn't score a goal this year, he needs basically a 42 and a 30 goal season, and he'll do it. It's that
Easy.
simple. That's stupid. And if he's close to 50 again, then that means he only needs a 22 goal year, which he'll do in his sleep.
And I know this is a talked about point a lot, but I can't not think about this. You look at the two shortened years recently with 2021 being a shorter season, the 1920 season being stopped because of COVID, 2012, 2013 being a 48 game season thanks to Gary's first lockout, our second lockout. Then
900.
And then his rookie season, not even having it. He'd be way past.
We could be talking about the chase to 1K.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Greatest goal scorer of all time.
Then I couldn't even defend changing the goal scoring.
Exactly.
Time. He had 1,000 goals.
Exactly. But, how many, what's his sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but what is his, how many years does he have left on his card? Let's say, because he's going to, I have a gut feeling he's going to rip through this contract. He has 3 years after this. Man.
He's only at 9.5. I remember us talking about this and talking about how he could get 11. I'm like, give him whatever he wants. How stupid is it that at 37 years old, $9.5 million is a bargain contract for Alexander Ovechkin?
Yeah, literally wild.
I hate how funny that player is. Okay, another player I wanted to talk about because I think the fact that he hit 60 was actually really, really quiet, unless you were people
I
trying to punk Leafs fans.
I don't think so. Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
Maybe it's because obviously living in Southern Ontario, like it was the Matthews thing was such a story when I think it was anyway. So Connor McDavid has hit 60 goals. He's done
Yeah.
it or he did it, I should say, in one less game than Austin Matthews. I had to say it, Alex. I'm sorry. 73 games played this year, 60 goals, 139 points. The unanimous MVP as he should be. 60 goals, and we're not even surprised. Alex, what if I told you a few years ago that we had two players hit 60, and we had a handful of guys, and we had a handful of guys who are around 50. If I told you that 3 years ago, you'd think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's wild. It's like, man, he is I was looking, someone posted on Twitter like the all-time points in a single season. And like he's climbing his way up there. I think he was 19th when I saw it. I'm pretty sure he's put up more points. Like I wouldn't, if he hits 150, I wouldn't even be surprised.
No, 11 points in like 9 games. He could do that.
Easy.
He could do 100%. Hopefully he doesn't do that next week. If I can manage this round of the playoffs and then face you to get past Antoine first. I still really hate looking that he's already played 560 games. He'll hit 900 points next year and only 37 playoff games. I hate that. I hate the Oilers.
Yeah, Peter Chiarelli did him dirty.
Yeah, oh no, God, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Did you see the after-hour stuff with Matthias Ekholm?
No, I didn't catch it.
They threw this tweet up that was an Oilers fan saying, Matthias, when you're on the ice, I'm more relaxed than having a bubble bath with a cinnamon-flavored, cinnamon-scented candle and Epsom salts.
Man, he is Matthias Ekholm.
Perfect for that team.
Is so perfect for that. You're spot on. Like we talked about, like Jacob Chickering, who definitely would have helped the Oilers more than respectfully Joel Edmondson or whoever else, whatever bottom pairing player they were trying to send Edmonton's way.
Have some respect.
No, I'm not. I can't. Matthias Ekholm is literally the definite, like the fact that no one knew he was available until a week before it happened.
Yep.
And it was like just perfect that he became available. Just absolutely perfect and exactly what that team needed. The
best coach in the league has been extended. Jared Bednar gets a 3-year contract extension with the Colorado Avalanche. Stanley Cup champions.
Makes sense. No surprise there. Where you right?
I just wanted to get that in there. That's all.
Second best coach. Yeah, I know.
How funny is it that they had to celebrate that John Cooper's been around for 10 years because NHL coaches really are a revolving door?
Yeah. They don't. I feel like a lot of sports are like that.
Yeah, it's just funny though.
I know. But he's been around for a while.
Yeah, he has. It's like 10 years. 2013? That doesn't feel like long ago. Oh, it does, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It feels very long ago.
How many coaches and GMs have been like around in the time that John Cooper's been?
Oh, man. It's 2013. There's been like
what?
5 Leaf coaches in that time I can think of.
2 new teams.
Yeah.
Well, so what? Therrien came. So at least in Montreal, it's Therrien, Julian, Ducharme, numerous assistants, a new GM.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny when you look at it.
Yeah, man, it's wild.
He's how funny! Around. Yeah, he's a good coach,
but he still has no Jack Adams. But that's okay. Whatever. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
That's all he cares about.
I know.
He has cups. I know. Okay, Alex, I'm going to get up your favorite thing.
What's that?
It's time for the NHLPA the NHLPA player polls. Okay. You avoided this, luckily.
I'm gonna say I saw one. I'll tell you which one it is off the bat.
Okay.
It's the city they play in. They would want to play in, and the answer is Vegas. I saw, which frankly would have been my first guess. Like,
we'll talk about that when we get there. But
That's
yeah,
not
no
even a
one's
surprise.
surprised by this.
no.
If you need to win one game, who is the goalie you would want on your team?
Active goalies.
Yes, that's a very good.
Well,
Alex.
because
Very
there's two. Yeah, because there's two answers. Andre Vasilevsky.
Yeah, he won 52%. The next answer was Shesterkin at 4.8.
Okay,
Marc-Andre Fleury was third at 4%, then Hellebuck 3.5. I think Hellebuck got done dirty, and Sorokin 3.2. Fleury, Alan Walsh must have been campaigning, man.
Yeah.
That's very crazy. In a must-win game, which forward do you think would be the most impactful?
Man, okay. So this is a tough one because I want to go with Connor McDavid, but I have a feeling it's Sidney Crosby. So I'm gonna. The argument is it's so easy to be there for both players.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with. They said Connor McDavid.
59.3% Connor McDavid, 11% Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
8.4 McKinnon, Kucherov 2.3, Bergeron 1.5, Matthews 1.3.
Oh, Bergeron's a good show. That's a good show.
Yeah. I'm surprised Burge is that low, to be honest with you. But I mean, when you see the majority of votes go to McDavid, I just wonder if McDavid is feared. Like because when he's on the ice, you know that you are one bad turn away.
Return this into the LeBron feared argument.
I was thinking about that. I also love how I love seeing the meme of the Raptors back in the day when LeBronto was in full effect.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
people feared.
Yeah. The entire country of Canada feared LeBron James.
Yeah.
But like McDavid, if he's on the ice, you're one bad anything on the play away from being a highlight reel the next day.
Yeah, I think people fear that, man.
You think Morgan Riley does?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll never forget that you were at that game for that goal.
I was in awe. I could not believe it.
That's one of those goals that you almost have to cheer for. You know what I mean? Like
I literally got up and said, "Oh my god!"
Did you clap?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember.
Good. As long as you stood up, like I think
I was standing, like, oh my god, I cannot believe that just happened.
Top defenseman in the game, and I will tell you, this player ran away with it.
Oh, it's Cale Makar.
63.9% Cale Makar. 11.4 for Victor Hedman, 6% for Roman Josi. 3.3 for Erik Karlsson. Are you all dumb? 2% for Adam Fox and Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm a little upset about that.
I mean, who are you? Listen, all due respect, I'm taking those defensemen over Erik Karlsson.
Josi?
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes.
I don't agree with that, but whatever.
Right now?
Yeah. I'd take Karlsson over Josi.
I don't know about that.
I wish Josi would come back from his injury because I need him. But who is the best stick handler?
Oh, that's a good question.
There's a Leaf who's not on this, and I thought would be higher, to be honest. But so he's not. Like Marner's not on this, and I was actually very shocked.
Is it Matthews on that?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were suggesting
Marner over Matthews.
Sorry, I thought you were suggesting that he was on the list.
No.
Stick handler.
You may not think of this, but when you hear the name, you won't be surprised. Think of a shootout goal versus the Minnesota Wild.
Listen, we were talking about this guy before. Is it Kuznetsov?
No, it's not. Oh,
Am I close?
I completely forgot about those shootout goals. No, Patrick Kane.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Sorry, I got thrown off. I'm going through. I'm like, it could be McDavid, like because it's McDavid.
He was second.
Yeah, okay.
And then McKinnon, Zegras, Kucherov.
Oh, Zegras, that's a good show.
Yeah. I mean, who is the best passer in the league?
Oh, Leon.
Yeah, Leon was there. 25%. Then Kane, Kucherov, Panarin, McDavid.
Yeah, Leon all the way. Easy.
Okay. This one I really, really, really like. Who is the most complete player in the National Hockey League?
Oh, um, it's a forward, I assume.
Yeah, there were no defensemen on here.
Okay.
What
I
you
want to
say?
say Sidney Crosby,
You're
but
right.
I'm right. Okay, yeah, I think
30,
it's Sidney Crosby.
30%. And then
Who's
Pat's
second?
18.
Bergeron. Sorry, yeah, Bergeron.
Yeah,
Okay,
Pat,
sorry.
good old Pat.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Barkov is third at 17.1. McDavid at 11%. Come on. And then McKinnon at 4.7. Those
Yeah,
top
no,
three, I
that
think you can put in any order, and I don't think people are going to complain.
sorry, top three was Crosby, Barkov, Bergeron, or Bergeron, Barkov.
Crosby, Bergeron, Barkov.
Barkov. Yeah, listen, I'll hands down say Sidney Crosby is the most complete player of his generation. I think he's the best player of his generation, but I think he's also the most complete. Like he is he's a power forward or power forward grinder. You name it, he can do it. It's ridiculous.
It's so stupid. He's got the work ethic of a grinder.
Yeah.
The skill set of, I mean, yeah, he really just is the work ethic. You know me. I think he's the best of all time.
Like he's every single type of player in NHL 22 except enforcer.
Exactly. Yes, this is true.
Like that's it. That's what he is, and he's good at everything.
Yeah. Which player do you least enjoy playing against but would love to have on your team? Number 2 will shock you. Number 1 will not.
Number 1 is Brad Marchand. Easy.
36.5%. Yeah.
Number 2, don't like to play against, but I would have him on my team.
Yeah. This guy should probably be number 1, to be honest with you.
Nah, I don't know.
You'll see. Come on.
Like, listen, I feel like the answer could be Connor McDavid.
It's Connor McDavid.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He should probably be number 1.
Like, in that sense, yes, absolutely. Yeah, fine. But I feel like in the spirit of the question, the answer is Brad Marchand.
Well, considering the next ones are Wilson, Kachuk, Hedman, yeah. McDavid doesn't fit he's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
But fair enough. Because he doesn't mean to, but he humiliates you. Who affects the game most around the net, forward or defenseman?
Who affects the game most around the net?
Yeah.
So
Ben Sherratt should be here, but he's not. Shea Weber should be on here, but he's not.
Like, my gut feeling, I want to go for a defenseman first, and my answer would have been it wants to be Victor Hedman.
So
is he on the list?
Here's what's kind of weird. There are no defensemen on this.
All right.
Maybe because they didn't say clear the net, but it is a forward. You're going to kick yourself if you don't think of this name, by the way. I'll give you a hint, and I'll say he's in the central.
In front of the net.
Yes.
This one's going to bug me.
It will. It will. 3, 2.
Wait. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. In front of the net. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Joe Pavelski? I don't.
Yes. Yeah. Pavelski,
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Deflection with that white stick.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. The deflection. Okay.
Then Kreider, Kachuk, Anders Lee, and then Connor McDavid.
Dude, Connor McDavid could be in all of these.
Yeah. That's kind of like saying Wayne Gretzky is, even though he'll be behind the net.
Yeah. Exactly.
Who is the most underrated player in the National Hockey League? Now, we're going to talk about number 1 because it's an obvious answer, but I want to justify why this is still true. But go ahead and guess.
It's going to be Barkov. And I'm going to argue against it. He cannot be the most underrated player in the NHL if he's been the most underrated player in the NHL for 5 years now. So it just defeats the argument.
Here's my counterpoint to that. People were arguing that he shouldn't have been in the All-Star game. Alexander Barkov.
That fine. Okay, sure. But you can't, these guys, they cannot argue that to them he is the most underrated player if he has been the most underrated player for 5 years running. They are now acknowledging the fact that he is not underrated by the fact that they keep voting him in this award.
Would you like to hear the rest?
Yeah,
of it?
yeah. Who's
number
rest?
2 is Tage Thompson.
Again, I don't.
I think
agree.
that's kind of fair. Well, because he's only broken out last year, and people were like, "Will he do it this year?"
Everyone talks about Tage Thompson. It's not like he's not talked about.
Yeah, but this is only year 2. I think you could make a point he's more underrated than Barkov in a sense, but I think I give that more merit than I do.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so
fine,
number 3 is Mika Zibanejad. I actually get that.
Sure. Yes.
He gets lost in
agree.
the show there.
I agree.
4th place is Sebastian Aho. Kinda,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
5th is Braden Point. Yeah, he gets lost behind Kucherov a lot. But there was there were those years where everyone's like, he's the best player on the team. He's
exactly
Stamkos. He was. And then this is an interesting one. The last one here, 2.7, is Jesper Bratt. I think that's a fair one.
Sure. So there's two names on there's 2 names on that list that should stay on that list, and that's Zibanejad and Bratt. Everyone else is talked about so much in a positive light that they're not underrated. How, like, what are we doing here? Whatever. That's just my thing.
Which female hockey player, current or past, would you want to play alongside?
Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Yeah, 27%. Hillary Knight, 20%. Wickenheiser was 14.7. Amanda Kessel, 7.2. And Ken O'Coin-Schofield, 4.4. Yeah. I don't think it's a coincidence that I think 4 of those players are active or at least played in the last major tournament. And then Haley Wickenheiser. I don't think there's a coincidence there. Mm-hmm. Not trying to insinuate something about current NHL players, but which NHL arena has the best ice?
Ooh. I'm not gonna lie. This one I have no idea.
This is. I'll give you a hint. This is the 5th time this arena has won.
I don't remember.
Alex, this should be such an easy answer.
Why?
Because it's you'll understand when you find out the team. This is the last on it. Yeah, it's Montreal.
Okay.
This is.
How am I supposed to know? I don't skate on ice.
Did you never read Matt? I remember. Listen, there's problems with Don Cherry, but there's this famous quote about him talking about all those crappy barns, and then he gets to skate on the ice of the Montreal Forum. And obviously, this is not the Forum, the Bell Center, but it's Montreal, man. You have to know that. They've got it's come on, it's the Bell Center. Have some respect.
No.
Okay, off ice.
I don't have respect.
Which is the best road city?
Vegas.
New York.
Easy.
Sunrise. Yeah. LA and Nashville.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yo, speaking of Nashville, did you see Bob McKenzie in that bit with Sean McKenzie? That was great. I love that. Which NHL player is the best guy in the locker room? Now, see, it's very split because the leader is only 3.8% because obviously, like, a lot of the players in the league, but the best guy in the room, you're number 1 and 2, you should know. You should know them. They're popular players.
I don't know.
Number 1 is Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah.
And number 2 is Phil Kessel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of that's a meme.
Yeah, so do I.
Then Kevin Hayes, Voracek, Johansson, and Nick Foligno.
Yeah.
Who has the best shoe game? I don't know.
I don't know.
Matthews, Pasternak, Keller, OEL, and Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Okay.
And that's everything.
That's all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. I got most of them right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Proud of myself.
Good man. The NHL have come to a 10-year agreement with Fanatics to be the jersey guys of the future.
Yay.
Now, Alex, I'm not an avid jersey collector, and I've only ever really bought my jerseys in that from the Bell Center and like the stores they have there, or like at the Habs practice facility. I've only ever bought my stuff directly from the Canadians, which obviously I'm pretty sure they're supplied, but like, they put the numbers in that stuff like in-house, right? So I've never ordered stuff from Fanatics and that directly.
Okay.
But when this first came out, this news, a lot of people were not happy about this, and the screenshots and pictures of mixed up names, misspelled names. Here are the Islanders with a Rangers logo on it. All came to be. Now, I'm not too pissy about the whole thing that Fanatics have to deal. What I'm more concerned about is the word that all these other companies are moving away from hockey. And I think that came out about Nike and Adidas. That's what worries me, is that there is word that companies are moving away from the game of hockey rather than Fanatics getting this. Because they're moving into the same warehouse and everything. So, and apparently their game stuff is really, really good. It's just the fan quality type stuff is mixed. Again, I'm not the most educated on this, so I can only sort of go off of the stuff I can read about it. But
the only issue I have with the Fanatics deal, from what I've read, is that they're relatively new to the jersey game, and they're signed for 10 years.
Gary loves that. Loves it.
Why?
Loves his 10-year deals.
Why?
Loves his long-term stuff, doesn't he?
Unless it's a CBA.
Yeah, unless he's like, no, not players.
What am I missing here? Like, you're right. I think it's concerning. If from a business standpoint, I'd argue it's concerning that the major players in the game aren't interested in the jersey rights. I think that's a concern. Like, why aren't they?
We have breaking news.
I saw it too. I was waiting until we got to Montreal, but we can do it now.
Do we want to just forget Fanatics? I don't really care.
Well, I don't have sure. Like, why
please do a good job. I just, the memes have been funny though. The memes have been
funny.
So for anyone who doesn't, we have an open to the Habs, then we'll go.
Exactly.
Then we'll finish off with the wild card roundup.
Okay.
Obviously, NCAA seasons are starting to end, and that includes Harvard, which means Sean Farrell's season has ended. And breaking out right now, coming out, Sean Farrell has just signed an ELC with the Canadiens. 4th round pick, of course, back in 2020? I thought it was later than that, like back 21. Will probably be in the Hobie Baker conversation this year. I don't know if he's going to win it, but he is in there. Him and Lane Hudson obviously have been two Habs prospects destroying the NCAA. But sweet, and apparently he will be joining the team in the upcoming games in Buffalo and Philly.
There we go.
I'm happy. I'm very happy about that. Last night, Friedman said on Hockey Night, obviously, that he was thinking about turning pro and all that, and I got kind of nervous because you always get nervous with NCAA guys.
Well, especially when you had to deal with Marc Bergevin for a decade and him saying, well, I don't know, he can do whatever he wants. I'll never forget that. I should trust.
I was so mad about that. I should trust Kent Hughes because obviously him, Marty, and Jeff Gordon obviously have their paws all over the NCAA guy. So I should probably have more faith about that. But I'm sweet. I don't know if he'll be anything more than a sort of middle six player, but if he turns into a solid second line producer, I'd like that. But I'm just happy that there's a young guy, and I've been excited about Farrell for a long time, so I'm happy to see him make it.
I mean, considering now that literally everyone is going down and done for the season.
Yeah, Josh Anderson is gone.
Jeez.
Caden Gooley is gone after just coming back.
Wait, I did not see that. When did they announce that? This morning or last
it was
night?
A few days before Hoffman.
Oh, okay. I did not see that at all. Okay,
I know it got buried. I think it was a high ankle sprain, or it was him or Josh had an high ankle sprain for Caden Gooley. Yeah, I thought, was Josh Anderson the same thing?
I saw the Josh Anderson news, but I did not see the Caden Gooley.
Yeah, no, Gooley was before. So it is both of them with high ankle strains, which is just, I'm amazed on that play Sergachev didn't get a penalty, to be honest with you, or that the Habs weren't awarded a goal because because obviously he was getting ready to break with the empty netter, and we know Josh Anderson's speed.
Right.
But But yeah, no, it's happy to see that. I would imagine that would definitely help in the signing because obviously we know NCAA guys is a thing of you need to make sure they know they have a spot. That's why I
Right.
think Buffalo needed to trade. I think they had a goalie prospect at the deadline they dealt because obviously
Eric
Devin
Portillo.
Levi was because obviously Devin Levi that was his spot.
Yeah.
By the
And
way,
he
apparently
didn't
he's
want to
getting
compete with Devin Levi.
yes, which because Levi was going to be given every sort of thing, and I guess he's waiting for immigration papers, and then he's gonna well he can
He
only
was there
gauge the
last
beat.
night, or he was there last night, I'm pretty sure, when they
Oh,
were
okay,
playing the
so
Islanders.
he should play any day now, or unless he didn't start last night, did he?
No, Comrie did.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, good news. Also, Brendan Gallagher is back. Kirby Doc is
Yeah.
back. Gallagher scored last night, by the way, which is always nice.
There we go.
But we should mention last night for I think it was like Indigenous appreciation or like an Indigenous persons like centered night. An 8-2 win with the man in the building. Carey Price was there meeting with the young kids from those communities because Torchy Gary was there with the man in the building. They went 8-2 because the man was there. In his cowboy hat, this great outfit, the man, Carey Price was there.
And don't forget the
Oh, the man.
the man, the myth, the legend, Rafael Hatty-Pinard. Come on,
Hatty-Pinard.
give him the
Did you
name.
see his war chart from JFrec?
Yeah, I think you sent it to me. It's
Man,
ridiculous.
I love Rafael Harvey-Pinard. So apparently he's like the first. Oh my god, what was it? He was like the first Quebecois rookie or like rookie to score like 3 straight goals in the game since like the 50s for the Habs or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think it was Dick Gamble.
That's a great name. Like I saw a pun about something and I was wondering where did Dick Gamble come from? I mean, listen, he said he was like basically shaking when the crowd announced was like getting the announcement for his hat trick. And obviously Michel Lacroix is the best game announcer in the league, and I will die on that hill. I would like to say this. I have a feeling next season they're gonna try right off the bat a line of Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, and Rafael Harvey-Pinard.
Yeah.
It just feels like that to me. Obviously, in the long term, maybe of course Stavkovsky also gets a look there. But I just think Rafael Harvey-Pinard in this stretch has really proven to people that I think he's ready for the NHL.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that apparently he's been producing at a 30-goal pace. I'm not saying he's going to be that. But if he is someone who can fit that role and play in that situation, listen, this guy was like a 7th-round pick. Again, this is a guy who was an overager in his draft. I love the story of this is a Quebec guy scoring a hat trick on Hockey Night in Canada. I love that story. I think it looks great, and I'm really happy. Again, I've been a fan of him for a couple of years, and I'm just us on this podcast have been screaming for him for a couple of years now.
But the question is, does he fit the +5 chemistry for that line? Because you have the playmaker, you have Caulfield the sniper,
and
you need the power forward. Does he fit the power forward?
I think he's saying more grinder, but he's got some grit to him.
Okay, maybe he gets the +3.
Is this the better version of the Gallagher Deneau Tatar line back in the day? Remember how good that line was?
Yeah, and yeah.
And now they go from an upgrade of Tatar to Cole Caulfield. It works, man. It works. But hey, really, really nice story. I'm seriously, that's wicked stuff. That's what as we'd say, that's what we say in the business. You love to see it.
You love to see it.
You love.
And how about Lane Hudson? Is he coming? Like, because I've seen his production, but is that another guy this year, or can he do whatever the hell he wants, as Mark Bergevin would say?
Why rush him? I mean, you have so many defensemen right now. I think I've seen people say it's probably the best thing is to give him another year. Because here's the thing, his offensive ability, we see what it is, but you probably, because of how, we got to remember he was just drafted, so he's still...
That's true. It was this year. Okay.
It's weird to think, isn't it? Because there's been so much hype around him.
Time is a contract.
Like, remember how it was the biggest deal on Habs Twitter when he grew an inch and it was like all over it? Like, yes. We got to realize he has to still grow into his body. So I think for that sake, at least, he's got to probably do another year in the NCAA. I am so excited to see what he does next year because that's
Right.
just going to be hilarious. But like his rookie, or I guess it's freshman technically, has been so stupid there. It's going to be really really funny to
Yeah.
see what he
I was
does.
just thinking, sorry.
Yeah, no worry. No, I was done.
I was just thinking spend a season in the AHL. Like you're ripping it up there, spend a season in the AHL. But we gotta have a conversation one day. Is something wrong with Laval? Like what am I missing here?
They've not been good this year. I
I
just keep
know.
forgetting they exist because you know what doesn't help them this year? That half their best players have been in the big
Right.
club most of the
That's
year.
true. That's true. That's a good
That
point.
I'm sure at the start of the year they were maybe thinking at by the time maybe one of Gooley or that we're gonna spend. Remember, I thought Gooley was gonna at least maybe spend some time, and then he showed up to camp and he was the best one. And
Right.
clearly Jack Eye was never gonna go there, and it was like, what's happened? This we have
Yeah.
so many
That's a good point.
rookies,
No, that's a good point.
and then everyone got hurt. But I mean, yeah, it's really weird to see what's happened there. I don't know what happens to Jean-Francois Houle in there, but I should pay more attention. I just there's so much going on where I'm like, I don't. It's just it's tough to keep track of the AHL team sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I probably
Sorry.
should.
I just saw this stat and it has nothing to do with Montreal, but I just want to point this out. I mean, you know what? It kind of does have something to do with Montreal. When you hear it, you'll understand why.
Okay.
Connor Bedard has played 64 games this season, spread between the WHL and the World Juniors.
Yes.
He has 80 goals and 166 points. He won't turn 18 until July.
I can't wait for that.
Sweet
Please,
Lord.
man, listen. I've accepted the fate Montreal's not getting him. Don't send that guy to Columbus. Don't do it. No offense to Columbus, but don't do it.
Man, okay, but you can't tell him, like, listen, he might not be a NHL center right off the bat, but you can't tell me that a line of Goudreau, Bedard, and Patrick Laine wouldn't be interesting.
Man, I'll tell you, I keep forgetting Goudreau's jacket. When I was watching the game last night, I was like, here's Johnny Goudreau. I said, oh, yeah, he exists.
Yo, put that guy next to Boone Jenner and he won't be touched.
But
I
here's the thing.
promise.
No one, like, here's the problem. He's, like, let's be honest. I don't know the betting lines because I don't care. But I'm sure they've already got everything ready for him to be the Calder winner next year.
Oh,
No,
he's gotta be.
listen, here's the
It's
thing.
not even a question.
Like, if he's a shark, it will be pretty funny because I would love to see him and Eric Carlson have some fun until
Jeez.
Carlson, if he gets traded, it's a problem.
Or
But
gets
like,
injured.
the
Sorry.
league probably wants Chicago or Columbus to get him. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, but you're missing Arizona, man.
Yeah.
Like, who's sorry, I know we're veering way off track here, but
Fine.
okay. Listen, like this is the bottom five right now: Montreal, Anaheim, Chicago, Columbus, San Jose.
That's 5-1, right?
Yeah, that's 5-1.
Yeah.
If he goes to Anaheim, oh my god,
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That'd be
that's
pretty good.
nasty.
I'd be happy if that happened.
You just they got to trade. This is what they got to do. They got to trade for Ryan Reeves, and then their first line is, so hear me out, Bedard, Zegras, Ryan Reeves. Those two players will never be touched.
Are you trying to think of, is this the Lucic thing for Edmonton? Is this what you're doing right now?
I'm just saying this, yeah, but you're not paying Ryan Reeves $5 million.
That's true.
There's a huge difference.
Deal.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Man, that's nasty.
Let's talk about the Leafs now.
Okay.
There's been a lot going on. So they get their absolute crap kicked out of them by the Islanders, which is always kind of funny. Then they kick the crap out of the Panthers, and then they lose in heartbreaking fashion to the Carolina Hurricanes. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about the Islanders game. Sure, like it was a tough loss, I guess. Like it was just not a good game. It's pretty simple. Frankly, Samsonov should have never been in net. Let's be honest. Should have never been in net that game. But here's the thing is, so okay, let's start with this. Samsonov is probably dealing with something flu,
Yes.
post flu, I don't know, whatever, an injury. Also, his wife is about to have a child.
Is she?
Yeah.
Good for them. I didn't know that.
So why did he play again? Like, you have the option with Murray or Joseph Wall. Like, listen, I get it, Joseph. I'm just saying, it's just
I just love. I'm sorry. I thought you were just gonna go with Matt Murray, and you're like Joseph Wall. I get it.
listen.
He's played games. I get it.
He's played games. I'm pretty
it.
sure he's played against the Islanders before. Like, I just don't, and he looked good. Why don't you just give him some games? Because here's the reality: you don't know what your goaltending tandem is next season, and why don't you find out? Why don't you say, "Hey, Joe, I'm calling him Joe. His name's Joseph. I'm calling him Joe. I don't care, Joe. What the hell do we have in you at this moment? Figure it out." So frankly, Samsonov to me should have never been in that game. And it was just not a good game overall, like outside of Samsonov. But I'm not going to pin this on Samsonov because I'm hashtag Team Samsonov. You know how it is.
You know what sort of bothered me? Did you see that thing about how Matthews was like, "Yeah, I've been playing with an injury all year," and I was just kind of like, "Excuse me." And listen, the playoff spot is secured. It doesn't. You're good.
But you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Since he said that, he's looked
He's been great.
10 times better.
He's been amazing. But that's what I mean. I'm like, were you dealing with this the entire why were you playing?
They see, that's my point too.
That's where I'm going with this.
We're on the
I'm
same
like,
page. Why are you playing?
Go get David Ayers if you want to throw him in. Who cares if you're losing some games? Get your guys ready for the playoffs.
I
didn't want understand. Anyone who's not 100% against Tampa. Like, you just don't want that to happen.
Listen, as I, from a player perspective, I massively respect it. Play with these through the injury. That's just what the best players do. From a team perspective, I don't understand it anymore because you've gone through this multiple times and it's failed you every time. Freddie, Campbell, like those two are the biggest examples in recent memory that it's just failed them.
Do you not think Tampa fans right now are like, if Hedman's dealing with something because he's been kind of off, maybe we should sit him, boys.
Yeah,
maybe, get him some rest.
I'm sure they're thinking, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's wild. Like, I was looking last night or after last night's game, like Matthews has like 5 goals and 8 points in his last 5. Like, he's fine. He's looked so much better since he said that he was dealing with an injury. It's kind of funny. I know I guess we'll get, like you put here, am I concerned?
No, I don't want to talk about the former Leafs. I mean,
I'm not. Listen, I'm not. No, I'm not talking about Engvall and Sandy. Like, they're not. They're not the players. Also, Santine has not had a great last couple weeks. Engvall also, he's not a hard hitting forechecker. Like, shut up. Like, he's not. Has anyone? Whatever. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get angry about it. You asked, am I concerned about how the Leafs have been playing? Not particularly. Like, I'm not any more worried, and I don't feel any less or better about the team than I did like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It's that, to me, it's that simple. They just had a very poor game.
I did, by the way, I put that before the Panthers and Carolina game, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like again, the Panthers game, they had a really good game. Like, they played. That was probably close to one of the best games they played all season, to be honest. And then, like, we can look at that Carolina game and we can talk about hashtag Team Samsonov over here. Like, Steve had a good quote I saw last night. Also, I can't wait for you to talk about Rod Brindamore losing his crap on the bench. I'm just pointing that out. Sorry, just wanted to point that out.
Where's Sheldon's Jack Adams?
No. We're not doing that. We're not playing that game. What was I going to say? I'm an idiot. I lost my train of thought. Sheldon had a good quote last night. Yes. Where he was like,
Steve did.
No, Sheldon.
Oh, okay.
No, not Steve. Steve Dangle. No. Sheldon was or Keith was talking about like how, that Murray had a good game, but there was like one or two goals where he should have them, and that's what we need to figure out. And I'm like, yeah, like
Had a good performance from a goalie though.
100, yes, yeah. Don't like let's not pretend like there's been plenty of performances from many goalies where there's one or two goals they could have had back, but the rest of the game was fine. I think was the point of the quote.
I gotta stop thinking about Carey Price standards here.
Right. Not everyone's Andre Vasilevsky and Carey Price.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they can't post shutouts in game sevens every time.
I miss Carey Price. I miss him every day.
Again, I'm still Team Samsonov. Like nothing to me. Listen, they have 10 games left. I don't even know. They have 10 games left. Let's get through them.
I agree.
That's what it is at this point. Like as long as, to me, this is from my perspective, as long as the right guys heat up at the right time, that's really all that matters. Matthews is heating up at the right time. Willie, listen, he had a 70 game stretch where he was good. It's dying off a bit,
and he's just stopped at the worst time,
especially for you.
Yeah, worst time, Willie.
But the history, what history has shown us is, frankly, he's been the best outside of last year. Where I would argue Marner was of the top of the big four. Last year, Marner was the best one. Nylander historically has been the best of those guys when it comes to when playoffs show up, when playoffs arrive, sorry. So I'd argue history is going to repeat itself, and he's going to be fine come the playoffs. Marner, again, is having a very good season, so I'm not particularly worried about him.
Okay, good. As long as he, no, I'm not going to make the joke.
No, make the joke. Make the joke.
As long as he's not throwing any pucks over the glass.
Exactly.
Scrub. Okay, Alex, it's time to end the episode.
Be the best player on your team, scrub.
Yeah, I mean,
by far.
Have you ever heard of Sam Montembeault?
Oh yeah.
Putting on the Martin Show.
Yeah.
Combo. Okay. Here are the teams that have made the playoffs, who have clinched the playoffs. No one in the West, and 3 teams in the East. Obviously, the Boston Bruins, you may have heard of them, the Hurricanes, and the New Jersey Devils.
And Boston Bruins have clinched the division too.
I love it. Okay, so I still love looking at their goal differential, how funny it is. So here is how the wild card is looking. Okay. It's still Pittsburgh and the Islanders. But the Islanders now only their games in hand are looking a little not as bad. So Pittsburgh have a game in hand over the Islanders. They're a point back. Massive win over the Caps last night. The Florida Panthers are they have a game in hand over the Islanders. 4 points back, but here's the big one. They are tied games played with the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're 3 points back. Buffalo, 3 points back of the Panthers with a game in hand. It's not looking great, but they're not as, they're making a bit of progress, but games are starting to even out a bit. And we should say also, Florida, game in hand over the Islanders, 4 points back. So not as, the Panthers, not a bit of a heartbreaking loss to the Rangers last night. Thanks, Bobrovsky. And just like that, it's making maybe looking a little more certain it's the Islanders and Pittsburgh. Do you agree, or are you going to take a chance and say Panthers?
I want to take a chance and say it's going to be the Panthers. I'm just not as convinced. I don't know. You just
don't know.
Just don't, because it's hard. Like, what are you going to do? Count out Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and the Pittsburgh Penguins? Come on. Are they going to be the team that enters the playoffs with a negative goal differential? Maybe.
Close. Listen. I gotta get up. I'm gonna get up the Panthers because I don't think I was talking to Baumgartner. Yeah. I don't think that they play the Penguins, which is awful. because we don't have any 4-point games, but this is going to be their schedule here. Okay, how we're looking. They play the Sens tomorrow, the
Mhm.
Leafs, then the Habs, the Jackets, the Sabres, the Sens again, the Caps, the Leafs again. The schedule makers, what's going on here? And then they finish off against the Hurricanes, who will probably be resting players by then. Same with the Leafs, maybe on the 10th. Those are those games against again the Jackets, the Sens, and Sabres, and the only really I would say for sure easy win should be the Blue Jackets. I think the rest of them are rather tight games, are going to be competitive.
Yeah.
Like even again, like the Sens always love playing spoiler this time of the year, and the Caps, it's still
The
Ovechkin and John
Sabres.
Carlson's back, so
Yeah. No, I mean, even the Sabres. They play them
yeah,
twice.
they've been playing. They've been heating up too. I don't think
Sorry.
I don't think they're going to make it, but they've been playing well. And maybe Devin Levi's in, and he's having a great season, and you know what I'm trying to say. He'll be
Yeah,
coming in
yeah.
and be off awesome. But it's not like they have a softball schedule going in.
No.
I'm going to quickly get up. Let's look at Pittsburgh Penguins and see what they have going on here. Oh, okay. They have Detroit, Nashville, Boston, Philly, New Jersey, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago, and Columbus to finish.
Man.
Yeah, that's nice. And then
Yeah,
if
it's
we finish off, let's look at the New York Islanders. Because right now I think it's the Penguins have the better schedule. And if we look at the Pittsburgh
oh, wow.
okay.
All right.
The Devils, the
Yeah.
Caps, Tampa, Carolina, Tampa, Philly, Washington, and the Canadiens. Man, but it's the Islanders. You know what I mean? I don't want to count them out. But they're such a weird team. They're
I
such
know.
a weird team. But I don't know, man. It's so I'm safe to say, looking at their schedules, I'd like Pittsburgh getting in there. And the thing is, I'm gonna go with the Islanders, even if they have one of the tougher schedules here. I like them more because I like their math better right now than I do the Panthers.
Yeah. Well, I'll agree.
Okay,
I'll
and
agree.
then we go over to ye old Western Conference. Man, I hate Calgary. I hate them so much. Same amount of games played as the Jets, but they are 4 points back. Nashville also have 3 games in hand over Winnipeg. They are 5 points back. You got to win them, though, and I'm not convinced that they're going to do that. If you care to mention, the Kraken are 3 points back of the Oilers with a game in hand. And I think it's safe to say 5 points back of the Abs are Winnipeg. So it's safe to say that I'm not going to say that Seattle catch Edmonton, and I'm not going to
No.
say Winnipeg catch Colorado. And I don't personally see the Flames doing anything
Yeah.
because It's just I've stopped.
Yeah, exactly. But there is a game I think we need to look out for, which is Saturday, April 8th.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets versus the Nashville Predators.
If Winnipeg lose that game, then I would. Then they have no rights to be in the playoffs. Like if that's a game, sorry, that you can't wake up for, then I don't know what to say to you. But I'm going to say Seattle, Winnipeg. I just don't see it. I don't see it from Nashville.
Just for the sake of being different, I'm going to say Seattle, Nashville.
Okay, let's.
I think the story would be great. Sell at the deadline and make the playoffs.
So let's look at Nashville's overall schedule. Oh boy, Toronto, Boston, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Dallas, Vegas, Carolina, Winnipeg, Calgary, Minnesota, Colorado, who will be resting players by then. That may be the toughest schedule we've looked at today.
Yeah, probably.
That's unfortunate. But hey,
it'll be tough, but it's
um,
never easy.
well, luckily we know the name of the episode.
Yeah.
And with that, Alex, we're done. Thank you
Benito.
very much or watching the podcast or listening to it. Well, you're listening to it no matter what. I don't know if you're just going to look at us for an hour and how long we've been going. Thank you for listening. Check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and social medias. We're on everything. And I don't know, like it and stuff or whatever you do on the platform you listen to it on. I don't judge. Alex doesn't judge.
No,
Unless you're Michael Hutchinson. All right,
I
thank you,
don't
and we'll
judge.
see you next time.